With the coronavirus postponing virtually all live music for the foreseeable future, many have been wondering if now is a good time to release new music. And today, we're going to talk about it. With fears concerning the coronavirus taking over news headlines everywhere, the conversation about what artists should be doing has been coming up a lot. Most reports will tell you that artists generally have three streams of revenue. They have their recorded music, which also relates to streaming, they have their merchandise, and they have tour revenue. And tour revenue is by and large the biggest part of an artist's income. But for the foreseeable future, live music is off the table. And some have found ways to get around that through live streaming, which you can see in our other videos. But today, I want to focus on that first one, recorded music. Now, earlier this week, as the reality of the situation was beginning to set in, I was on one of the many music industry forums I'm part of, and I saw an artist post a comment that said, basically, I'm planning to release an album later this month. It's been planned for months, and right now I'm unsure whether or not I should move forward. Is now a good time to release music? Is now a good time to be promoting music? Are there bigger concerns on the table? What should I do? As you can imagine, with this being the internet and all, there were a lot of different responses to this person's question. And I want to give you my 2 cents, because if you watched our last video, we encourage you to use this downtime you have during the coronavirus to work on your writing and to continue recording. But should you be putting those recordings out into the world? Well, my thoughts on this, and I mean this with every ounce of my being, is that you should absolutely continue releasing music, especially if you've already been planning it for months. I mean, you've no doubt invested a lot of time and perhaps a lot of money into promoting this upcoming release, so absolutely move forward. But if you didn't have anything on the schedule, but you do have some recorded material, or if you're able to record right now, then by all means, get that material out into the world. Because let's face it, for the foreseeable future, the vast majority of us are going to be home. We're going to be spending a lot of time on our computers, on our phones, listening to music, consuming content, and so forth. And there's a lot of stuff that's available right now, plenty of things that we can catch up on, but everyone is always looking for something new and exciting. Music is the key to getting us through these things, far more than any movie or any TV show that may give us a little bit of brief escapism from the reality of the situation that we are in. Music can certainly provide a feeling of escapism, but more importantly, music is kind of an empathy generating machine. It makes us think about things differently. It allows us an opportunity to process all these feelings that we're having right now, and it gives us a chance to just really let go of all that's weighing down on our shoulders. And this has been true throughout time. I mean, as far back as we know in recorded human history, there has always been music. Communities have gathered around fires long before we ever had towns or buildings or even really houses, and they played music, they played drums, they did whatever they could to create sound, to celebrate life, to celebrate existence. And right now, we seem to be in dire straits. The world is a crazy place. We have no clear timeline on when things will get back to quote unquote normal, and we need music now more than ever. And the songs that you're creating right now, the songs that you will be inspired to create by what's happening around us, will only help more people feel less alone. Because let's face it, isolation is really tough, and it's going to leave a lot of people feeling left out, feeling sad, feeling hopeless, and music can be a cure for that. It can help them feel less alone, and right now we need as much of that as humanly possible. And one of the unintended benefits of living in the streaming era right now, during this specific time, during this specific pandemic that we face, is that the vast majority of people can access your music for free. So you don't necessarily have to feel bad about putting it up for sale right now, because let's be honest, not everyone is buying music. And even though right now we're asking people to buy music, people probably still won't be buying a ton of music, but they will be streaming music. They will be making playlists. They'll be putting YouTube or Spotify or Apple Music or what have you on in the background while they work, while they cook, while they clean, while they try to wrap their head around what's happening. And you could be the soundtrack to getting someone through this moment. You could be the thing that keeps them holding tight to hope, looking towards the future, planning for what they're going to do when life gets back to normal. And if that's not a good enough reason to write and record and release music right now, then I'm not sure what could possibly do that for you. But if you would like to speak a little bit more about brass tacks and how the industry works, make no mistake, people in the music business right now are going to be looking at the artists that people are gravitating towards so that they can lift them up in the future, especially after all of this ends. Because the artists that people forge a connection with right now, the songs that make people feel something, that people are streaming in large numbers, those songs are going to be celebrated long after this pandemic comes to a close. I remember back when the Boston Marathon bombings happened, Bastille's song Pompeii was on the radio all the time, everywhere. It became this unofficial anthem of the city, and the band has been celebrated far and wide for the role that song played in that moment ever since that time. And there will be songs and artists that are coming out right now with material that are going to have that same impact on the world at large. People that we will be celebrating as having helped us get through this tough time, whether that be on a very micro level, one or two people, some small group, or if it's entire communities that come around an artist or a song that makes them feel better about the situation that we're in. Why would you ever want to give up the opportunity to be that artist or to write that song? Just get out there and keep creating, because the industry is going to notice, people are going to notice, the world is going to take notice, and they're going to be thankful for your efforts. And if you're still feeling uncertain right now, that's perfectly fine, because we're going to be giving you guides and tutorials and advice and support right here at MusicBiz for as long as humanly possible. Our plan is to just keep creating videos, keep creating content, and even up the amount of content we create whenever possible. So click the subscribe button down below. I know it's a plug, but we have to plug the channel. That's the only way we keep going. But click that subscribe button, join this community, and together we will work to make a better future for everyone. And if you've already done that, if you're already a part of this community, thank you so much for your continued support. And all I have left to say is the thing we say every week, which means more now than ever before, which is that you need to take care of yourself because you deserve it.